What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bucket and Hoosier. As always, I am Mr. Hoosier. I'm joined by my good buddy Bucket. And Bucket, how are you doing?
Bucket, I'm so good, man. It was a long, exhausting day trying to pick up the kids today. Let me tell you this story real quick. So my older kid, he's 8.
Yeah.
He has this math club that he does on Mondays. But on a regular day, when he doesn't have math club, he grabs my kindergartner and then walks him across the street so I can pick him up without having to go through the pickup line. It's really, really nice. We have a good well-oiled machine, but on Mondays, I have to go pick up the kindergartner because he's in this math club.
Okay, that makes sense.
I went to go pick him up at the kindergarten pickup, and the line, my kindergartner's not there. They said Lincoln, my older, came and got him already. And I was like, he's supposed to be in math club. So then I had to drive all the way around the school to go where we normally pick him up, and they weren't there. So I missed them there. I had to go all the way back around the other side and go to the office, and they still weren't there. They were still walking there. It was a whole mess. So it took me an hour and a half to pick up my kids today. And that is the worst thing that you could possibly have to do.
Well, that sounds exhausting. My family, they are not even here. My kids on spring break now, so they are off and hanging out with my wife's aunt. So I have a very quiet household, and I'm nowhere near experiencing what you are.
That sounds great.
I mean, I don't know, at first I really enjoy it, and usually after the first 12 hours, I just sit there and I'm like, it's a little too quiet.
Yeah.
I don't hear anybody tackling each other, no screaming from my daughter, like nothing like that. So yeah, it gets kind of lonely after I think the first 12 hours, but it is enjoyable at the same time. Welcome everybody. So we have a very special guest tonight. Very special guest. He comes off his first show match win against JonSandman, which I don't know if you said you weren't able to catch the match, right?
No, I did. I watched a good portion of it. I just didn't get to see the full production. Like when they talk to each other and all the things, like when Fear talked to Sandman and all that, I didn't get to watch it all.
Okay.
But I did watch the actual show match, most of it live, and then the rest of it a little bit after. So
yeah, it was
pretty exciting.
It was very exciting. I really thought there for a little bit it was gonna go one way, and it did not. First off, huge shout out to John because he did better than I thought he was going to do, especially how the start of it went. But he got his 1v1 pants on it and he showed up. But we have the winner, and oh my Lord, did he show up very well. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get him in here. You know him as Savage. We are also joined by his dad, Reese. And welcome to the show, guys. How are you doing?
Good.
You're doing good?
Yeah.
So you're 8, right?
Yeah.
So how did you get into Rocket League?
Ever since my dad was playing, I wanted to play super bad. So I always went on his account to try playing.
So you're playing on his account first? How did that go? Did you improve his rank?
I didn't really play. I just customized his car.
Oh, what's your favorite car?
Octane and Finnick.
Octane and Finnick. Is that because they play the best, or you just like how they look?
They play the best.
Okay. I think Bucket would agree with that. Wouldn't you think, Bucket?
So you went from caring only about what the cars look like because your dad was playing and you thought this looks super cool, to now I really care about how they play, right?
Yeah.
And that's because you started playing. Tell us about when you first started playing.
What were you playing on?
Switch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
But on Switch, I suck.
I think everybody did.
Yeah, nobody's good on the Switch.
He learned how to do the double tap on the Switch. And
wow.
Yeah, he hit close to Diamond or Diamond 1 on Switch, and then that's whenever we made the move to the Xbox.
Okay, so we went to Xbox first.
Yeah.
Okay, still playing on Xbox, or have we moved over to PC?
No, he's on PC now.
Okay. So, Savage, how high did you get in ranked on Xbox before you went to playing on a computer?
Diamond 1.
Diamond 1? That's pretty good, because I started off on Xbox as well.
I'm at Champ 1.
Oh, Champ 1.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. I started playing on Xbox too, and it's not as hard as the Switch, but it's definitely there's still a big jump from Xbox to computer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's a big difference.
yeah, so what would you say is your favorite? Like, what's your favorite shot in the game right now?
That I hit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that you can do.
Triple flip reset.
You can't do no triple.
What?
I ain't seen no triple.
I have.
No.
I have. You probably
heard it
haven't
here.
seen it, but
You haven't seen it, but I've done it, Dad.
No. I believe it when I see it. He does hit some crazy right now. Every time like I'm watching him in free play or something like that, he's going for like flip reset, musty double taps, or pogos.
and ceiling shots.
Yeah, and ceiling shots.
You can pogo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like 5 clips of him doing pogos in like free players or something like that. He's done it in the Octane, the Dominus. He did one today in the Dominus, and it was pretty sick. It caught my attention pretty quick.
Wow.
That's super interesting. Here's the thing too, Savage, is you've gone from just seeing the game to liking what the cars look like to hitting your first shot and double off of the Switch to switching over to Xbox to getting on PC, and now you're doing all these crazy mechanical things and ranking up at the same time. You're just doing everything. What's your favorite part about Rocket League? Is it what's your goal? Trying to get to SSL? Is it trying to hit crazy shots? What do you like doing the most?
Trying to get pro.
You want to go pro, so it's going to be all about playing threes and game mechanics and things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Tell me a
And-
little bit about that, about your threes experience. What do you do in threes?
In threes, I have hit GC1.
Wow, that's
Wow.
pretty impressive. So you solo queue in threes? Do you play with teammates? Do you have friends your age? How does that work?
I play like solo queue and with friends.
Very nice. So you have
Wow.
friends like your age that you play with that also play at that level, or do you have to find people who are a little bit older than you to play?
I don't really play with lower. People that are not my age because I can't really find a lot who's really my age.
We have found a couple and have played, but for the most part, it's usually with randoms or he'll play with me, and I don't play threes with him anymore because I definitely dropped him, and so yeah, I got cocky, thought I could keep up, found out I couldn't, and forgot that I was trash at the game.
He's like, Dad, you're holding me back.
Yeah.
Time to let go of the training wheels. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I dropped down to C2.
When you played with your dad?
Yeah, and his friend.
Yeah, that's super funny.
That's awesome. All right, so you played a fantastic match against somebody that a lot of us have watched in the Rocket League community since it started. And what a match it was. But take us through, what was it like playing John? Like, game 1, you definitely had control of it. What did you think of that?
I thought I was gonna win the whole thing by the time since I won the first round.
Yeah, you had him on the ropes pretty good, but then he definitely what did John start doing that where he was able to start getting some wins that you were struggling with?
Demos, bumping.
He did go hard on the demos, that was for sure. And don't worry, everybody in chat was definitely was giving him cringe because he was demoing an 8-year-old, but it looked like it was warranted because you definitely were controlling the game.
He was also doing flicks too.
Yes, I do remember that. John, anytime he plays that I have watched, he does usually flick pretty early, so that could be a little tough to defend. Was that the hardest part about playing John? Was his flicks?
No.
No, what was the hardest part about playing John?
Demos.
The demo?
Just trying to stay away from him, huh?
Yeah, I've never seen like LJ gets so tilted off of demos, and he would get demoed and literally like fall back in his chair like so upset, and then John would type something in quick chat, and then LJ would start laughing because he's like he had a mad face, but he'd be laughing because he was saying like no or I'm so sorry, and it was just funny the way he was doing it. And I'll be the first to say that the second game and probably the third that Savage lost was possibly due to me telling, like I was trying to coach him and tell him some stuff, and then John would score and he'd be like, "That's why I didn't want to do that." And so I'm like, okay, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do anymore, but he's going demo heavy and you're giving him too much space. You do with that information as you will. And then he kind of took over, started playing his own game, and I just kind of was reacting instead of trying to tell him what to do because I forgot he's a lot better than me.
Yeah, that's the hard part too, right? Is trying to walk that line between the dad and the coach, and how to
Yeah.
play the game, and also just letting him do it because he knows what he's doing. That's really tough.
Yeah, and it's
So-
I mean, with everything, it's hard because in everything that he does, I'm also coach, and
Mhm.
so we have that good dynamic where he listens to what I'm saying, but he was practicing really hard for that show match, and I just told him the game plan, and then he executed everything else by himself.
How much
That's
practice did you
the
do?
question I was going to ask. Same thing Hoosier's asking. What led up to that? Both of you can answer too.
So they were talking. They were talking about the show matches and stuff on Fear's channel, and I was on Savage's Twitter, and I called out Sandman. I think I could probably find it and screenshot it, but it was like almost a year ago. I commented on one of his YouTube videos and was like, "Yo, would you want to 1v1 this 7-year-old?" Because I felt like Savage could beat him. And then whenever Fear said something and I tagged both of them, Fear kind of tagged JonSandman with a question mark, and he said, "Yeah." And so I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "All right, this is really gonna happen."
But now
So
I
you
wanna
shot
try
your shot.
Athena.
Who do you want to play now?
Athena.
You want to play Athena?
Ooh.
Why do you want to play
There's some-
Athena?
Just cause.
Just cause? Just so are we gonna change your name from Savage to the little content killer?
Nah, he watches both of them and watches them play and 1v1 each other. So he likes to, or now that he's played Sandman, he would either like the 1v1 or 2v2 again.
That would be fun. A good 2v2 setup. That would be really good. Athena's a really good player too. Like that's definitely a good call out too. So that would be an interesting one. Watching you play John Savage, I could tell you really wanted to go in the air and get a real good clip on him. Was there a shot in particular you were trying to pull off?
I at least wanted to do a ceiling shot on him.
A ceiling shot? That would have been really good. There was one really good one you got. Do you remember what it was? Wasn't it?
I think it was just the air dribble bar down.
Yes, the air dribble bar down. Exactly what it was. It was super clean.
Yeah, in game 5. Yeah. Yeah, he was, a lot of it was, you may only get this one chance to play somebody of this magnitude, like, show everybody what you can do. So he was really trying to take it to the air and try to do something crazy. And he didn't get what he wanted, but he got. I think it still showed that he is very capable in the air.
My dad wanted me to get a clip on him.
I think we all wanted you to get a clip on him.
Yeah.
I think even probably my like, I know you had the air dribble bar down, but the really good one for me was in that last game when you got him on the ridiculous fake and he just went right by the ball.
When you faked him,
Oh,
what were you thinking?
I was like, dang.
No, like what made you think to do that?
Mm-hmm.
No, just came to you at the time.
Yeah.
So since that happened, so anybody who doesn't know too, right? The show match went Savage won 3-2 in a best of 5. It went 6-3 Savage, and then 7-4, 7-4 John, and then 6-3, 5-4. So every match was more or less close, and it went the full distance, which meant it was a good hour or so. What's happened since then for Savage? Did people get excited for him, or did you get more followers? Are there people reaching out to you? Is there anything exciting happen from that show match?
Well, so like I run his socials and stuff. He's definitely gained a lot of I want to say like 40 or 50 follows on Twitter. And then with
Very
his
nice.
YouTube, he had a few more, and then whenever he streamed again after like talking about it, he got like another 20 YouTube followers.
Nice. And so that's the positive parts about it. Is there anything that happened? I saw a tweet from you after the whole thing happened about people trying to reach out and say, can you coach me, or let's play together, or all that. And people
Yeah.
forget that this is, an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah, there's a couple on his YouTube, and really like, so I'm not PC and I'm not gonna try to be, but whenever I'm on his YouTube or his Twitter, like I'm not gonna push, how I am, because he's 8. So I do talk to him about stuff and about posts, and I'll show him comments, the positive comments and stuff like that. So most of the time, like I'll ignore stuff, but there was a couple people that were commenting a lot on his YouTube, and they were just saying, like, train me, coach me, can we play? Or, it was like the middle of the day, like 11 or 12. And it was like this kid saying he was in 4th grade and he's also champ. Could they play? And like I was telling my wife, like, what 4th grader is on YouTube, saying that stuff in the middle of the day. And, my wife said maybe they were homeschooled, but I guess they seen his epic and they started like spamming invites. And like I said, we set up the garage for everything, and so he was in free play. I go get my youngest son, and whenever I come back, he was playing with one of the guys in like a 1v1. So I told him to leave. I told him to delete that kid, and then the kid or whoever it was put on his YouTube like, why'd you leave? And it's like, why are you inviting him to a 1v1 when, he doesn't know who you are? To me, it was kind of like, I'm not saying who it was or anything like that, because I really don't know who it was, but it just seemed kind of off to me. And like, why would they jump straight into a 1v1 if, they're trying to play with him and stuff? And to me, it was just kind of like they were trying to see and trying to like, they were trying to beat him and then be like, oh, you look, I beat this kid such and such. And it's like, bro, go get your own clout,
Right. No,
Lose-lose situation for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just completely understand that. My son, he's 6 and he's wanting to get in, play Fortnite, right? And he's had like a person or two send a friend request, and luckily he's turned around and asked me, he's like, what's this? I'm like, that's a no.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that. So, yeah, I'm sure it could be real awkward I'm even experiencing that with a kid who doesn't have notoriety, and your son is just building his notoriety right now. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there's all sorts of people that come out of the woodworks.
Yeah, and I'd put it on his YouTube today because one of the same people that keep asking for him to train him, I'm like, hey, like I'm still learning the game. He's only 8 years old. Like he's not a coach. He's not a trainer. You know, I don't think he could teach the kind of stuff that he knows because it's all mental stuff. Like he just, it's hard for me to explain it. Like it's kind of hard to teach somebody what he knows because you either got it or you don't. And you know, he does have it. So I don't know how to train
Right.
that, especially as an 8-year-old.
Well, he-
Articulating those things is very difficult too.
Very.
Exactly.
When you have the muscle memory and the know-it-all, and you can just do it, is different than helping people get there. I can
Exactly.
understand that.
Yeah, he's 8. He hasn't even taught anybody how to do anything. So it would be a very awkward thing to even try and start. So I saw in chat he has so we have Optic. I've seen you guys, like, he was wearing the Optic decal. You have it on yours. Who from Optic are you the biggest fan of, Savage?
Tell him, sit up.
Rod Greg.
Who
the
is that?
coach. He's the coach.
Oh, he's the coach.
Yeah.
How'd you guys find him?
I don't even. So, okay. So I reached out to Raw Greg for coaching for LJ. Man, that was a long time ago. And Raw Greg said, yeah, we set it up. And then ever since then, like whenever, you know, he's not busy or anything like that, he'll jump in with LJ and just play, and they'll 1v1 and play some twos together. And
Last time he beat the heck out of me.
yeah,
He
good.
beat the heck out of you.
Yeah. Raw Greg is very good, and but he's very smart, and it's crazy because like he you know, the way he was telling me, like he doesn't even know how LJ's holding the controller, let alone like his mental stuff. And so like the stuff that he was telling LJ was mainly just like you know, your basic stuff like the wave dashes and like positioning, stuff like that. Like he would try to go over that, and then he would just play like casual matches with him and stuff like that. And now it's kind of blossomed into a friendship. And yeah, I mean, speaking to other parents with young kids, it kind of, I've said it before about him, like he whoever shows love to him, he kind of reciprocates that love. And you know, without knowing anybody or really knowing the scene, his favorite team and stuff was NRG. But then once when he actually like started talking to people, playing with people, stuff like that, like his, I don't want to say his loyalty, but you know, he shows love where he gets love.
His loyalty shifted. It's okay.
Yeah, well, he's still big on NRG, but they're not his top anymore.
Yeah, that's okay.
They're not at the top of anything anymore, right?
Yeah.
So Savage, what do you like about doing coaching sessions with Greg?
He's smart and
Just answer however. What do you like?
Or let's at what's one of your favorite things that Greg has taught you?
wave dashes and chain dashes.
Yeah, he taught you the chain dash.
I know how to do that now.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there like a secret to it?
Is it? I don't know.
I mean, I can't do it, but I you know, whenever he talks to LJ, I'm listening too. Like, yo, what can I get from this?
Well, I feel like there is a secret. Like
I don't like, for controller, you just gotta like spam it, I guess. Like, I don't know. They were making it look easy. Like, it's easier said than done, I guess. Just spam the jump button while you're holding it the opposite direction.
Go in the water.
Just got to do it super fast.
Yeah.
I actually have to move my hand over to the other side and like do it like old school.
Yeah.
Like that. And so how do you hold the controller? Like a claw method or one finger at the top, two fingers at the top? What's the method you use?
hold that controller real quick. That one.
Oh.
He just holds it. Not claw, but is that how you play? He has a finger, his trigger finger on the bumpers, and then his middle fingers on the triggers.
Okay, so he
wait, not
uses.
this.
I guess
But
you
he
got an
d-
Xbox One though.
Well, no, he has that PS4.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you take it off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So no, just regular. Then he's just holding it regular.
Nice.
But it's the PS4 controller now, but it's not the regular PS4. It's the scuffed version that's like it kind of resembles an Xbox controller. I forget what it's called.
Oh, are we
But
talking about
paddles-
controllers now?
paddles on
Yeah.
the back.
Well, yeah, it's the paddles, but like the shape of the controller, it doesn't look like a normal PS4 controller.
Okay.
Do you use Paddle Savage?
No, well, he just got this controller, and I asked him if he wanted me to take them off. He said no, but the only things that are binded are jump and something else. But I don't think he really uses it. If he does, he's only been using them for 2 weeks because that's how long he's had it.
That's
Up
where
to you, take it off.
I seem
I
to
can
be like
take
the
those off.
only person that actually uses the paddles. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. I had so for me, like on my controller, I have boost back here on a paddle.
Yeah, that was my old one.
Yeah, that was when we were gold.
You guys are goofy.
Oh man. Dang, what a dig there. I'll take it though.
Got him.
What is his rank?
GC, SSL.
Which one
Coach? I don't know.
Hoosier or Bucket?
Bucket.
Bucket, what's your rank?
I play like GC2. I've been GC3 before, but it's been a while. In 2s and 3s.
Yep.
In 1s,
Oh,
it's like
he's rolling his eyes. He said he doesn't believe you.
just, I'll show you right now. It's like
He said
1600.
He said he'll 1v1 you right now.
I want to.
I want to.
1v1.
He just wants to play though.
I know that's the thing.
I
That's
love
what I
it.
love about it. He just want to get in there and play, and
Yeah.
that's kind of where my other questions were going. Like, I know you've been playing for so long. Like, what are some of your favorite moments? I know I can't remember who it was, but we did that charity stream, me and Hoosier, with some of the NFL players, and there were some content creators,
yeah.
and someone was mentioning how they knew you, right? And
Well, there's
other
a
people,
couple.
yeah. So you've been in the scene. Like, people are starting to know you or take you under their wing. Like, what are your favorite moments in Rocket League for yourself? Or your favorite people that you've met or anything like that? Just talk to.
Tell me your favorite people.
My favorite people that I met as in Rocket League is this this guy named Toasty, Ajax, and then Raw Greg.
What about content creators?
Tenacity,
That's the one.
I think it's
The-
just Tenacity. I don't remember who other
See, you've
people.
been getting all over. Do some of these
Yeah.
people chat
Oh,
with you?
JSU.
Do they JSU?
JSU,
Yeah,
yep.
he's a big fan
JSU's
of the Bucket and Hoosier Show.
Yeah, he's been a big, like, honestly, if it wasn't for JSU, I don't know if Savage would be this big, to be honest.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. The dad gaming is kind of that's where he got noticed, and that's where I was told that it wasn't normal that he was his age and rank.
I think I remember that now.
Yeah, we played against Ray and Cersei, and like Ray's the reason why we're on Twitter. Ray was telling me, like, man, if you want people to see him, like, you got to get on Twitter. And so I just kind of overhauled my old Twitter, and
She's good.
yeah, Cersei's very good. And
I'm just glad I wasn't playing in the Tuesday tournament that he was playing in.
Right?
well, so it was the father and kid tournament.
Oh, that's right. That's when it was.
Yeah, and like, so I'm friends with Shiz, and we ended up playing him and his son, and then in the finals we played against Ray and Cersei, and we ended up losing by 1. And like we ended up linking up with them later and doing privates together, and then just playing. And JSU was commentating and stuff, and so I had a buddy of mine. He made a little montage of some of his clips, but he used JSU's commentating on it, and I just sent that out to some content creators, and Tenacity was like, "Yo, I got to bring him on stream."
That's
See?
awesome.
It starts to snowball. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. And that's what if you find a passion, right, Savage here, and you start doing it and you just want to play all the time and you keep doing that and you have people helping you in the background to make videos or to get you on Twitter or to do all the little things, then it's possible that all these fun things are going to happen. And it seems like you've met a lot of cool people from that. So I'm very happy for you for that. Switching gears a little bit, I want to, if that's all right, Hoosier, unless you want to continue.
Nope, you're good.
Path. RLCS is coming up, and do you guys have any predictions? Did you guys ever get to go to a live event, or are you going to this one?
We were gonna go to Worlds last year, but I ended up having to work, and because we were only like 5 hours away, but we ended up not being able to go. So hopefully we'll get to catch one soon. I don't have any skin in the game. I don't know who you think. I don't even know if he knows who's in it right now.
Really? He just loves to play so much. There's just no time to watch it. I don't blame you.
Yeah, no.
Well,
kidding.
he'll watch. He watches like Team Axel and Optic.
Team Axel and Optic.
Yeah, and if they're not really playing, he likes Ghost Gaming too. But if those three teams aren't playing, he really doesn't pay attention.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are in the winner split, but there's still teams with great players on them.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think, not to beat a dead horse, I think either Gen G or FaZe. Just it's hard for me not to pick an NA team. Well, NA is where they play, I guess. But Gen G or FaZe, I think would be. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those teams win it.
I think a lot of people would agree with you. What do you got, Savage?
I was just gonna tell him, did Tenant ask you to play with me, or did you ask him?
Well, I sent him the video, and then he asked to play with you.
Oh.
He actually just tweeted at you just now. He wants to play versus you and Bosun.
Yeah, who's Bosun?
So Bosun Bones, LJ just started playing with him today. Excuse me. And he was in Stripe's video, I don't know, a little over a year ago. He's another little prodigy, and then him and LJ played today. And then I kind of put something on Twitter, saying that they're the youngest / best duo, and I tagged Tenacity and Stripe, and Tenacity wants to 1v2 both of them and see if he can take them.
I just gotta say one question. If Bosun is watching this, he's
asleep. He's asleep.
Well, still, if he does, he is super duper good to me.
Is he? He's a good teammate?
Yeah.
What does he do? What does he do really well?
Man, he's like, him and LJ are like the same player. What I was noticing today, like their play styles are very similar. They kept bumping into each other because they were literally in the same spots, and like I clipped a few plays. They were doing some insane stuff, and I know his dad listens to y'all show, and they once when the chemistry gets a little bit better and they learn to kind of give each other space, they're gonna be insane.
Savage, do you guys try to do like passing plays?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, they weren't trying, but they were.
That's great to have someone that you can kind of grow in the game with. Hopefully, you guys are able to play for a long time and do get that chemistry together.
I can't believe that he stole my goal that one time.
Yeah.
Durbin in chat, I think that is Bosun's dad. He says, I'll show Bosun in the morning. He had a blast playing today. So Definitely sounds like you got a good teammate there, Savage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Bosun's dad right there.
That's the this is your time right now. This is your platform. If you want to call him out on anything and say, "Hey, stop bumping me in the air."
Does he take your boost?
No,
No. Do you always get to the boost first?
sometimes.
Just too fast for him.
Oh man.
I guess I'm just too fast.
You're just too fast. I love it. Like you just love playing the game, and it's fantastic. It's refreshing for a bunch of old guys who play it and don't just get frustrated with it. Do you ever get frustrated when you're playing the game?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He gets frustrated and I tell him he has to get off.
No, that's not a
If
bad
it's
rule.
not- well, if it's not fun, so he does a lot of things, and like I know this is Rocket League and all that, but he does a lot of different stuff, and I kind of had the same rule with everything because like I said earlier, it's easy to boast on my own kid, and with Bosun's dad, we both kind of had the same, like they're very similar, which is crazy because they're both very young, and they're the same rank, and they do a lot of the same things. They're very active. LJ does a ton of different stuff, and I kind of have the same rule where, man, if you're getting mad at something or you're getting frustrated, like you need to cut it out for either that day or maybe take a break and come back to it. But he gets to kind of pick what he does.
No, that's perfect. So like LJ, what's your favorite thing to do outside of Rocket League?
Huh?
His headset fell off.
Oh,
so
you're good.
that's-
What's your favorite thing to do outside of Rocket League?
What do you
Like, what's your favorite
Oh,
thing to
yeah.
do besides Rocket League?
play basketball?
Play basketball.
Yeah.
Are you a good shooter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you shoot a lot of threes, or are you working in up by the net?
I'm shooting threes.
Shooting threes? I love shooting threes. It's the most fun you can have.
That's great too, being able to walk the line in video games in real life, right? Like, do you guys spend a lot of time talking about that? About you get this much time for video games, or is it just kind of like part of your life?
I would say it's just part of his life. Like, so for those who don't know, I have 6 kids, and they're all kind of into their own
Sheesh.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Netflix is expensive, you know what I'm saying? So, it's one of those things, like he's very active. My 14-year-old daughter, she's very active with sports in school, and they all kind of do their own thing. It's my youngest two, they're not really doing anything right now. They're just kind of toddlers, and my youngest is 7 months. But with LJ, he's kind of, anything that he does, he kind of gets recognition for how good he is at the age that he's at. Like, he started in jiu-jitsu, started getting a lot of recognition for his tournaments that he was winning. He's done Muay Thai, wrestling, soccer, basketball, and then now he's been running 5Ks for a while. He loves to run, so we are about to put him in track, and if he does good, Rocket League will kind of slow down because he'll have an opportunity to go to Junior Olympics.
Wow. What LJ, what do you like about running?
I just want to get my legs like
Oops.
Oh,
Yeah, we lost you.
I just wanted to get my legs I wanted to get my legs exercise a lot.
Like endurance, stuff like that.
that's good. I struggle to run a quarter of a mile. It's just not enjoyable for me, but I'm so glad that you have interest in that and that you're really good at it.
I wouldn't run for my life right now.
I'd give it a thought.
I couldn't do it. It would just...
The beauty too of being physical and getting out there in the world is that it helps you with the mental side and
Mhm.
and being able to sit and do long sessions playing video games. So they all kind of interject with each other.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah, and so right now he's kind of in between some stuff. We have, like I said, tracks about to start. Um, he kind of wanted to shift from jujitsu. He's been doing jujitsu the longest out of everything. He's been doing that since he was 4. Um, or he was, I guess technically 3, but it was like a month before he turned 4. Um, he wants to get back heavily into Muay Thai and possibly do some tournaments in Muay Thai as well.
Oh man. Well, I mean, it's a good time to do it because, like we've said, he's 8, so it's not like he can compete competitively for Rocket League right now. So definitely the time to try a lot of different things and see how well it goes.
Yeah, it's so like everything that he does, like I don't force it. So like I was, not to toot my own horn, I was pretty good at sports. And I don't want to say I was forced, but once when I got to a certain age, I was just kind of burnt out doing the same, 3 sports since I was a kid. So by the time I got to high school, I was just like, you know what, I'm done. And so with him, he gets to pick whatever he does. Because if I'm forcing him to do something, or if he's not having fun with something, then he's not going to do it. He's not going to get better at it, and he's not going to his mind's not going to be in it 100% to get better. So if he's not having fun with something, he tells me like, "Hey, I don't want to do this. I want to switch it up and do that." Hey, all right, that's fine. Let's do that. So, but that's with all my kids. They get to pick what they want to do, and my only thing is whatever you pick to do, you got to give it 100%.
Yep.
I think that's the best parenting advice anybody could give.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like it's 100% that.
Especially from your experience, what you just said, and we see this all the time in all kinds of things, right? Is you make someone play one sport 2 or 3 times a year, or you make them play something all year long. They never get that mental break or whatever. There's so many different ways to go about it, but having them decide and also helping them along the way, and then saying, okay, and we had this too, where my kid was like, well, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, we also already committed to this season.
Exactly.
You committed to this. So now we finish this, and then maybe we won't do it again. We'll give you a break from it. But so you have to, like, it's not just cut and dry. You do this and that. But yeah, if you can have them come to you and say, I want to do this, that's when you support them the most. And that's when they're going to follow those passions.
And so he has a sister that's 15 months younger, and he was playing soccer. Well, she wanted to play soccer, and I said, are you sure? Like, because she doesn't like being hot and sweaty. Well, she played soccer, and that first game she started crying, and she comes running off the field, and I said, look, like, you ain't got to play it next season, but you're going to finish this season, and you're going to give me 100%. And she did give me 100%, but whenever the coach said, does anybody want to sit out, she was also the first one to raise her hand. So
loopholes.
But she does
lawyer
gymnastics.
In the making.
Yeah, she is very, very smart, but she's into gymnastics, and so that we support her in doing that. So,
well, I mean, it sounds like you got a good plan going forward, Reese, and I think you have to, and you have that many children. That's a lot to manage. But so Reese, so I know you want to become. You say right now your goal is pro. Do you think you can hit SSL in the near future?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think
By the time I'm 10?
By the time you're 10, that would be very impressive.
That's the goal with Rocket League, just to hit milestones that haven't been hit yet, because that's really all they can do right now.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
That was the most impressive answer because of how quickly, and you told us your goal too. That's exactly how I know you're serious about that, because you are very assertive in that answer. I love it. So minus hitting SSL, and then seeing like, man, I still have this age gap I have to deal with. What are some other things in Rocket League, other goals that you have?
Um, I
Do you want to
don't
play
know.
with more people? You want to get your name out there a little bit more? Do you want to try to stay out of the spotlight? What is your ultimate goal before you can get to SSL and go pro?
I want to play with more people and get my name out there.
I think you're off to a really good start.
Mm-hmm.
Because Reese, how long have you guys been like really pushing like the Twitter and the YouTube and everything?
Well, so I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago, and then he kind of fell off of Rocket League. He was playing a lot of Fortnite, and then
It's addicting.
uh,
The
yeah,
Rocket League
like
killer.
I kind of stopped his YouTube stuff and kind of put a pause on it, and he really wasn't playing that much, and then Tenacity wanted to play again, and so he did another stream with him, and LJ told him straight up, like, I really haven't been playing, but I'm about to start grinding. And then at the end of last season is when he peaked at C3 and for twos, and he jumped 2 ranks after like a couple weeks of really. So I feel like that break honestly helped him because he was kind of plateaued at C1, almost C2, and then took like a 3-month hiatus, and then bam, here he is doing some crazy stuff again.
Well, that's awesome.
Good to take those breaks though, right? I think that's the best part, is being able to come back to something after you've missed it for a little while.
Exactly. And it's
So
this is still new to us, like, you know growing up and stuff. Like, video games weren't like this where it's as big as it is now. Like, we just played at friends' houses, and so, like, for me, you seeing him get notoriety and stuff like that, it's like, wow, this is really different from what I'm used to. And at the same time, like, he is very good at it. If he grinded, if that's all he did was Rocket League, then I feel like he probably would be SSL already. But then I feel like he would get burnt out, because then what would be the end goal? Because he still has 7 years to go until he's pro. So if he hit SSL in 6 months, well, he's gonna feel like he beat the game. I feel
Right.
like that's what keeps him going, because this game's unbeatable to an extent. Um, so that's why it's for me, it's good to keep him active in multiple things, because then he's gonna want to stay doing all that stuff, and he's not gonna get burnt out on one thing and be like, you know what, yeah, I'm really good at basketball, I'm really good at jiu-jitsu, I'm really good at Rocket League, but I don't want to do those things anymore. So it's trying to find that balance between all of it, and also progress through Rocket League so that he is hitting milestones that he wants to hit. So we'll see.
Yeah, and here you talk
that's
about
super
that. Like
cool.
we've talked about it here on the show of like what is the next step for competitive Rocket League? Do they go the route of like football clubs over in Europe and other countries where they do these like sign a kid like LJ this young and we're like, hey, we're grooming you to be a competitive Rocket League player for us. But
Yeah,
at the same time,
that's
after
on the table.
that, I'm sure that is. Have you guys been hit up by anybody?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because like
Uh,
hearing you talk about that, it almost I hadn't even thought about this from like you're the person that's in this, so like your perspective of I don't know if I want my kid doing that because then that takes away from them doing X, Y, and Z and being able to just do
yeah.
other things.
Well, so there's two very, very, very small orgs that have hit us up, and my kind of what you said, like that. I don't want to take away from other stuff, but at the same time, like, he's 8, so to time to an org right now at 8, whenever he likes who he likes, like, you know, to sit there and say, like, oh, hey, 8-year-old, you have to push this one org because that's who that's who you're a part of. Like,
Right.
he'll understand it, but he's gonna be like, yo, it's a video game. Like, why do I have to only root for this org, or my favorite players over on Team Axel, or yada yada yada. And at the same time, it's like, I feel like because they're just small enough, I feel like they're the same size as him right now. And one of the offers, I'm not gonna say who it is,
That's
and
fair.
they're probably listening or gonna listen, and so they'll know who it is. But their offer was for him to come on as a content creator, and then when he turns 15 to be on their RLCS team. And I said, that seems like a lot for free. And at the same time, like, I feel like you're kind of wanting to jump on his coattails to kind of help y'all. But at the same time, him repping y'all's name won't really help him. And they said that they understood that they're going to, they want to put a team around him right now. And I was like, he's 8. Like, what? Go find me 2 other 8-year-olds that are like him, and, he'll play for fun. But he does want to do like a competitive league just to play it, but at the same time, it has to fit our schedule.
Right. No, that makes complete sense. I like my scheming brain, as Bucket likes to say on our show, because I seem to be the one that's always doing it. Like, if I'm looking for what I'm trying to get into with this, I'm almost looking like, do I sign a Prodigy now and then able to sell the rights later because he's not able to play right now? So like there's a lot of different avenues that this could go. So it's definitely interesting, but it's good to hear that you guys are actually getting notice and people that like orgs that want to be interested. So I mean, it's progress, but definitely I could imagine it's a scary situation. I mean, Papa Rizzo just hopped into the chat. I'm sure that's somebody who could definitely lend some advice.
Savage loves Papa Rizzo.
Oh, we all love Papa Rizzo.
So I was going to allude back to the thing you were just talking about with the org. That's super interesting, and I believe that people are reaching out to you because it is unique to have an 8-year-old, anybody under the age, and we're seeing those kids get to that age now in RLCS and then immediately being picked up, or they might have been groomed in some way before that.
Yeah.
So you have to watch out for that stuff, and it's almost like signed to my junior college when you're 10 years old before you graduate high school, and then maybe you would have had a D1 opportunity or a D2 or D3. You know what I mean? Like you might not ever reach that full potential, and you might, but you need to have that growing period in order to find out.
Yeah. No, and that's exactly what it is. And like I told both of them, like we'll be friends, and I'll throw out a retweet or here and there, and like we can stay in contact, but it's not gonna happen until he's old enough to tell me, like, hey, I want this org said this, then that's who I want to go with. Then that's what's going to happen. But for me to make the decision right now at 8, I feel like that's taking it away from him, because even if somebody said, hey, you know what, we can pay for him to be a content creator, well, he's underage, so I'd be the one getting paid, so it would look like I'm the one benefiting. And to me, like with all my kids, I'm not trying to benefit off of my kids or like gain success. I'm trying to set them up for success, but they have to make that decision as far as like, hey, this is who I want to go play for, this is who I want to go play with. Cool. I don't care if it's for free, if it's for money. As long as you're happy, as long as you feel successful, then you are successful, and I'm going to support that 100%.
I mean, kudos to you as a dad, because I'm sitting over here going, no, I created 3 chances at somebody being able to take care of me in my old life, so let's go.
That's the only deal. That's the only deal. They have to take care of me, right? But
when I'm older, I'm still
when
good
I'm older.
right now. That's the other thing too, is like you think about like child actors or child musicians and kind of how different their life ends up. Not all of them, again, some you can see both sides of it, but people that are forced into it, you always see coming out the other side. You always hear the horror stories. So good on you, and like being prepared for that stuff. And you never know, there could be and that's, I wouldn't say that you've essentially squashed any opportunity. You're saying if the right opportunity comes along and he decides that's what he wants to do, we will definitely take a look at it. That's what it sounds like you're saying.
Oh yeah. He has to be the one that says yes, though, and without any influence from me, because obviously me, being crappy at the game, I'm be like, Yeah, of course, no problem. But with him, I want him to like what he's doing, and if he's never even heard of you or he doesn't even follow that org, then there's no way that I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, we'll represent you.
Right.
No, that makes complete sense.
Well, I have one more question.
Go for it.
If you have anything else, Hoosier,
I do not right now.
Think this might help get us to the end here as it's coming up on our hour. But I want both of you guys to answer this if LJ's still around. What advice do you have for other kids who want to get good at Rocket League or any video game and the path that you've been on and the things that you've had? So I'm just curious, like LJ, how if another kid came up to you, a 6-year-old, and was like, how do I get as good as you? What would you tell them?
Just practice.
Practice. Love it. Gotta love it too, it sounds like. Anything else?
You keep looking at me like I'm not even good, so
I don't know what to say.
That's all right.
What do you think?
I'm thinking, but I don't know.
Practice, and that's it.
Yeah,
practice makes perfect.
I mean,
love that.
That's what JSU keeps telling me, and I seem to not listen very well. So I'm glad that you have accepted that. But Reese, for you, like, what do you think? What would you tell a parent that has a kid that wants to get really good at a video game like Rocket League?
Man, I don't even know really what to say to that, just because every household is different. The dynamics are different, and for me it was easy. Like, hey, he was progressing, and I knew PC was the way to go. I kind of caught some slack the other night because I play on a laptop, and LJ has an actual PC, 2 monitors, and his setup is a lot better than mine. But like I told them, he's the one that has the potential. So I would just say anything that can progress them, I would look into it.
That's awesome. I tell anybody that as well too. I know I've had a couple of coworkers that they pulled me aside like, hey, I know you play video games. My kid tried to tell me that they're getting scholarships for college. Is that real? I'm like, yeah. So you might want to look into that. So, but
don't stifle them, right? Like, don't tell them no video games.
Exactly. Which it seems that's what you're doing. You're just like, oh, you like that, and you're being a great dad and helping him get more into something that he's really interested in.
Yeah. So, just so everybody knows, like, I have a plan for all my kids, and that is a very, we could leave that plan tomorrow. But the plan I have for him with Rocket League and college, especially because, like I said, Ray Preston was the one, like me and him were talking whenever Cersei was trying to figure out where he wanted to go to college to play and stuff like that. And I was like, because I didn't even know that until Ray said something in the group. And I was like, I didn't know they were doing that. So the idea for LJ, because he's so good at grappling, is either to go to college for wrestling and make money with Rocket League, or vice versa, go to college with Rocket League and make money with his jiu-jitsu by doing seminars, stuff like that. Essentially his life wouldn't change, and he would be able to make money and get an education doing exactly what he's doing every day after school now.
That's good. I mean, yeah, you could just start doing like $10 show matches. Like, think you can beat me? Put down $10 on it.
Well, when he's older.
That's awesome.
That's the key. Right now, it's still all fun and games, trying to get better at the game, reach your personal goals, and then start looking at, okay, put your head up and say, now where are we? And that's a traditional sports mentality too, right? You didn't see everybody just going like, let me get into making money or doing this when I'm 10, 12 years old, being the best baller on the court or whatever. So, or the best jiu-jitsu athlete, whatever it is, you got to go through the learning phase.
Yeah. You got to pay your dues first.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right, LJ, what time is bedtime?
8:30.
8:30. Well, we're glad your dad let you stay up and talk with us. Bucket's camera is frozen if anybody's watching. But LJ, yes, thank you for coming on and talking with us. We greatly appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, and
Thank
Reese,
you.
thank you to you too. We appreciate it. It was a good conversation.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
All right. That was Savage and his dad, Reese, everybody. Oh, my Lord. Bucket, bucket, bucket.
At least my frozen image wasn't bad.
It wasn't terrible.
Yeah, that's exciting. There's a lot of good things going on with the youth of tomorrow. I think this is the wave, right, of parents who lived through this stuff, who lived through the technology kind of beginning and understand it and can start helping their children kind of navigate it. It's really difficult because the kids now who are already at that 15 to 25, their parents might have been just a little bit outside of that box. And now
Right.
a lot of parents are seeing that or have been in it. They could still be older parents, right? But they've been around to see the growth of it for a long time and kind of know what to expect. So it's good to hear and refreshing to hear that he has such good head on his shoulders, and his dad and the kid is LJ Savage. Just seems like he's out there trying to have fun and get better and take up as much as he can, and he's not too worried about all the intangible things and orgs and all kinds of crazy things that when you start getting some notoriety and some people looking at you, you can fall into those traps.
Yeah, he just wants to play. I think that was the biggest thing and what I loved the most about talking with him. He's just like, you all didn't hear it. Like, before we even went live, he literally asked Reese, he asked his dad, he goes, can I play Rocket League while we're doing this?
Yeah, while we're talking, can we? And he was like, I've seen you do it before, but let's try to pay attention for an hour. Yeah, totally. Just passionate kid about playing and doing the things and just trying to be active, it seems like.
Yes, it was great. And just from watching the game too, when he was playing against John, yeah, that I like Rocket League for a game for me. It's a game I wish I was that age when I found it, because there's definitely like starting it in your 20s, 30s. It's like there's a certain mental block. I don't know. It's not so much a mental block. It's I have responsibilities now. And I wish I could play this game when I didn't have responsibilities. So.
Right, exactly. It's that old meme that you've seen a million times. It's when you're young and you don't have a lot of money to buy all the new stuff and new technology and video games. You got all this time, but then you get older and you're like, oh, I got money in my bank account. Let me go buy all this stuff. And then you don't have any time.
I lost all the time.
So trying to find that balance in the career of an esports athlete is super interesting. And I think that's why we see the drop off at certain ages, right? Or the beginnings or peaks and valleys in people's abilities at certain ages. It's interesting to see. And I do have some data from that Twitch or Twitter
oh yeah, you did do that.
I put out a long while ago that I'm still compiling and getting set to see how I can actually portray that information. But ask people what their rank is, right? Ask people how many hours they had. And that was the first part. And then someone was like, yeah, but I'm 30. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm 40. And then someone was like, yeah, but I'm 25. And I was like, all right, well then why don't you guys just give me an age range you are. If you don't want to tell me your specific age, that's fine. Especially when you're asking people of younger age, right? I'm not trying to get into that conversation. Just give me a group. Are you in your 20s? Are you in your 30s? Are you in your 40s? I don't care. So then I'm going to take that data and see if we can't break it down into just the 100 or 200 people that I had comment and see if that tells us any stories. It'll be interesting.
I'm sure there's tons of stories out there to be told for sure. But yeah, what a great conversation. I'm glad we really got to talk to him. I was curious how it was going to go. Not sure, but I mean, they even said he's, wanting to work on this. We asked him to be on camera, and he very so politely told us beforehand, I'm shy. And we were like, that's great. Like, that's fine. You can 100%, like, glad you're comfortable enough at your age that you're saying, yep, I don't want to do that. Great job, buddy.
So many esports athletes too, and Rocket League players, you see them, they look like they don't really want to just have that camera in their face. But once you get to a certain level, the expectation's there. So no reason to force anything on. Same thing here. Light, keep it cool. let him come through and tell us a little bit about himself and his journey so far. I'm really happy with the way that went because it gave him exposure too, to be able to see like, all right, I can get out there, I can talk about myself a little bit. It'll be fine.
Right. Well, I mean, we talked Savage hung on longer than I thought he was going to, because I mean that's 8-year-old.
It's
I
bedtime.
want to play. Well, and I want to play Rocket League too. So like we're not important for the attention span right now.
Totally.
Hi to some people in chat. Wi-Fi. Durban, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it. Hope your son and Savage have some good Rocket League careers. Papa Rizzo, always good to see you.
Yeah,
Coach Jesu with the what's up. He was late, but it's okay.
And you got a lot of shout outs, Coach Jesus. So you'll have to watch this when it goes out on podcast format tomorrow. And that's the other thing, right? Everyone go check that out. What was that? We need to start posting that in there. Channel 3 gave us a cool little backlink.
Oh, did we finally get the groups today?
To I don't know. Go find it.
Is that what came out today on Channel 3? You know, the org that we got picked up by an org. If you didn't catch on recently from Bucket's Twitter, that was an April Fool's Day joke, everybody.
I guess I just didn't make it funny enough.
No,
so
you
go
did
to
a little
this
too
link
serious.
And it'll take you right to our Spotify. Go subscribe to Spotify. They're awesome. And they podcast format is so much more digestible with these things, I think. And even I go back and listen to it now while I'm doing things, working out or driving or whatever.
You just like to
so
listen
I
to
can
yourself.
see. No, I'm trying to find the content, the good stuff. No one else is going through it. We don't have producers and other people helping us out. So you got to go back and I actually don't like listening to myself, but you have to get better.
That's true. You actually do. I have kind of as well, but I listen to everything at, you know what I have found? Because I listen to most things at time and a quarter, so 1.25. I talk too fast.
Do you think you still talk too fast even when it's slowed down?
Yes, because if you're the way I'm talking at 0.25 is I don't have a good like steady beat with my words. Like you sound good at 1.25. I sound like I've drinking 3 Red Bulls and am trying to slow my heart down.
Yeah, well, I have learned several things about speaking from doing these things, and some of it is you don't have to fill your words. It is okay to take a break in your thoughts. Try not to waste too much time, but use your hands. There's a lot of different things that can help you get those things going. So just read some books, Hoosier, once in a while. Jeez.
What's reading a book?
Those are the words too, right? That
Oh
really
yeah,
get
I
you.
took a speech
Not
class
you
long ago,
personally,
and
but everybody.
yeah, I get annoyed when someone does that and they have a lot of ums in their speech. I catch on to it really quick.
Like is a big one these days too.
Yes. But well, we've been rambling on here for a good minute.
I know we are like just totally.
Is anybody still even listening?
What's the
to
other
us?
one? It's the there's one more. Oh, literally.
And
There's so many. Anyway,
smoking the reefer.
I'm gonna be in.
Oh, you're gone
Montana
next week.
Next week for a little bit. So on Monday at least. So I'm gonna try to do it remotely.
Okay.
But we'll see how it goes. I know this weekend's really big, but also my company has a lot of things going on right now. So I have to go up there and get some things sorted. But I want to still try to do this next Monday. If not,
do you
I'll let
leave
you know
Monday
as soon
or
as possible.
Sunday? Oh wait, I'm not. You leave on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, and I'm not available on
In the
Sunday.
morning though. In the morning though. So yeah, if you're not, I mean, you know who has been hitting me up every week for the last 3 weeks to get on here is Jackie Throbinson. He's been wanting to come on and chat about some of the things, especially about RLCS, because he has a lot to say about that, and he made some teams for us. So if I can't come on, that might be a really good replacement for the night.
Yes, might do. Definitely, that might be who it is next week. Is Jackie up here joining? And to round it off, B. Davis coming in at the last second with the primer sub. We appreciate you, buddy.
He wants to join the podcast. That's
I mean, that's how he has been digesting it, so that works.
well, big weekend ahead. We don't have to get too far into it, but
We do
who
not.
you got?
Winning it? Oh.
We've already talked about this a little bit. Who's gonna win it? Give me your pick. We'll try to do some things with Discord. I did want to also go into some chats and do some things with Jesus. Sent us some really cool replay reviews of some recent
He
games.
did.
But there's just no time.
No.
I'm not going to land. I couldn't make it because of this work thing and some other things. Also, it's Easter. I totally forgot about that. So many weird reasons that I can't go this time. But
I think everybody
next
forgot
land,
about
I'm
it.
going to try to make it work.
Yeah, even Papa Rizzo had said last week that for a lot of people, the fact that it's on Easter weekend messed it up.
Next NA land. We did
yes.
this. We've already had this conversation last week with Bel Air. So we really don't need to do this.
No, we didn't.
Final pick. Final pick. I'm going to go with FaZe. I think they're going to pull it off.
You're going to go with FaZe?
Yep.
I think K-Corp's going to take it. I really do.
Fair enough.
Hang on, Wi-Fi coming in. Actually, that would make sense because if you go back to what Wi-Fi just said, next land leaked as Boston. Not sure if it's gonna be, but what I'm hearing from pros, that would actually line up.
There.
Well, that would actually line up with what you would have to go. We'd have to go back and find it. One of our interviews with Tordad to start the season, he had said that it was gonna be Europe, NA, Europe for Worlds, and that the NA, the spring major would be on the East Coast. So
all the stars are aligning. That could be possible, and that would be a really fun trip for me. I want to go across.
Oh, B. Davis might looking like a good one too. And that's not too far for myself either. So
yeah, I want to go see the Bo Sox.
The Bo Sox.
The Red Sox play.
Yeah, the Bo Sox. That would be good
that
too.
That would be super fun.
And
I agree. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Davis, that would not be during football season. It's going to be in July. It's baseball season. Wi-Fi leaking dates 6th through the 9th. Ooh. I might have to start looking at my work leave calendar, but let's wrap it up. Let's get out of here. We appreciate you all. Before we go, channel3.gg and then Bucket. What is the snack? I need
Savage Snacks, baby.
Savage Snacks.
SavageSnacks.co/Bucket and Hoosier. It is a great. I have them all the time. I don't have any here because I wasn't playing, but they're in my pantry. Little bites. They're healthy. They're good. They're chocolatey. There's a pineapple one. So good. And I know the people that own it, and they're just such good, down to earth people. And they were like, "Hey, I know you have a podcast, but how about we partner?" So go check them out. SavageSnacks.co/Hoosier. Get free shipping.
There you go. Bucket, what's the dragon thing in the background? We're going to leave because this youngin just asked what the Needler was. Love you guys. Have a good one.